our last guest today, and I'm trying to mop down. If my husband could hear me, I need a paper towel or something. In any case, our last guest today, she was there and now she's gone. I got to see if she's here, but I got a lot I got to read about her anyway. If you're just tuning in, we're doing card stars, and we're focusing on people who are amazing. Oh my gosh, my husband did hear me. Thank you. I have lost my document. It is among the missing. I got to find where I'm saying nice things about Heather, because there were many nice things said about her. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, Heather Vaughn. It's another long one, you guys. Get comfortable. She is a behavior therapist out of Irvine, and this is another family nomination. And I think there's two here. I am very grateful. This is what the parent says, for both of my child's team members, Heather Vaughn and also to Christopher Lee. Both of them have impacted our lives and changing experience for my son, especially during COVID. My son's elopement has dropped tremendously, pretty much under control in the community. In COVID, that's amazing. Aggression has decreased due to the consistency and follow through with the entire team. Heather has been on my son's team the longest. She resolved picky eating problems, swallowing saliva issues, excuse me, riding elevators appropriately instead of challenging behaviors that were on board for more than 8 years. She will go the extra mile to resolve his behaviors, always initiate language building whenever the opportunity arises. Thank you, CARD, for such a strong training support for families like us, especially during the pandemic. Staffs are taking extra step following all safety guidelines. My child had made tremendous growth in all aspects of his deficits. And then she goes on to say, oh, no, I think this is a new person. This is a new family nomination. Heather has been so genuine and effective from day one. Last year, I was having a hard time to handle the situation with my son, and she came up with the idea of stimulating skills, and that was brilliant enough to solve the problem and help my son control himself much better. Most of all, she has been so sincere and always has been having fun with him, yet very skillful and observant, a therapist of virtues. Oh my gosh, two families nominating her. So let's welcome to the show Heather Vaughn.
Hello,
Heather,
can you hear me?
I can hear you. Heather,
Awesome.
were you able to hear all the nice things that those families said about you?
I heard bits and pieces. They actually have not been shy about telling me that they nominated me. So
I'm so glad, because sometimes it's hard for us to remember to say thank you because we're so in the mix. But I also want to see. I want to say that your older sister or older sibling is watching, and they've shouted out. So we want to make sure. And Jean Lee is saying hi, Heather. So you got fans in the house,
I
Heather.
do.
So Heather, tell us about you, and how you came to work at Card. How did this field find you?
I actually was not planning on working in this field. I went for training. I actually went through all the training to become a chiropractor and worked as a chiropractor for a few years. And I did other medical things, including medical equipment, um, inventing, and things like that. And I just couldn't find the right fit for me. Um, I I unfortunately had that kind of situation where it's like I was passionate about helping people. So anywhere you stuck me where I could help people, I was like, all right, I'm motivated, let's do it. But then I would just eventually I would lose that fire. And one of my friends, she works with the school district as a para educator, and her son is special needs and had to different situations where he had to get different types of help. And he sorry, the mom, she was recommending, she's like, you need to look into this. You should be a behavioral technician, a BI or something. Like, she's like, you're going to be amazing at it. And I had worked with kids on the spectrum through my martial arts. I did martial arts for many years, and so I went through their junior instructor program, and I had worked with some kids that were um, who had ASD. And I kind of knew what I was getting myself into. But I was like, you know what? Okay, fine, I'll try it. She told me for like a year. She was like, you'd be so good at this. And I'm like, whatever, okay, whatever, because I heard that from so many people to be like, oh, you'd be good at this, you'd be good at that. And I'm like,
I'm
okay,
gonna need this woman's address so I can send her a thank you card.
okay,
Right?
she would love that.
Right?
Laura,
Right.
she would love a thank you card. But yeah, I ended up Googling and like looking up, different places. And the thing that stuck out to me about CARD was its focus on training, and its focus on the structure of, you do this, and then you the different levels of the BT program. So you're a BT1 at this point, and then you study, you get your BCAT, you get, you evolve, you become a trainer, all that kind of stuff. So I did. I went through all of that. I got my BCAT. I became a trainer. For a little while, I was doing the recruitment as well, getting people in, telling everybody how awesome CARD is. And it really is it's a natural fit for me, because I I really like seeing the growth, and I'm stubborn, so I don't mind if it takes a while. I don't mind if it takes a while. And those challenging cases where it's not so obvious what the child needs, I don't mind them at all. I don't mind it at all. When you have a situation and the parents, they're at the end of their rope, and they're like, we don't know what else to do, or some of the situations where you get even the supervisors are like, we tried this, we tried this, we tried this, like, what's the next step? And they're just looking for those fresh ideas. And that's kind of my niche, where it's like, all right, let's find a new way to do it, let's find a new solution, and hop in there and tailor make it to the kid, not just sitting there and saying, all right, because let's be honest, most kids thrive in with the standard ABA. Most kids absolutely thrive. You're going to have a few kids where it really has to be a little bit more precise to really get them motivated, and to get them where they need to be. And then some of the kids, it's just they've been in ABA for so long, because some of these kids, they started at 3 years old, and so now they're becoming teenagers, they're getting older, and maybe it's like they're almost done with their therapy, or maybe they are continuing their therapy all through, until their early adulthood, but they just need that change up, where it's like, all right, it's the same thing over and over and over, and they just get bored of it. And you have to find that, okay, like, what's really going to motivate them, what's going to get them over that hump. And I'm reading the
I
chat, and
know.
my little
You
my
you
little my little
you've got
guys
all
are,
kinds of people
yeah,
watching. You've got your parents are saying how proud they are of you. You've got friends and family
yeah.
and clients and kiddos. They're watching you live. I just want you to feel how much support there is for this amazing thing that you're doing.
Thank
And
you.
somebody who's not one of your clients just shouted out and said, she said it, what the child needs. And that how important it is for people in this field to be doing what you're doing, which is changing it up, making it fresh, making it exciting, making it worthwhile, doing what the child needs. Heather, you're a star.
Thank you. Thank you.
What
It
are
really
you
means
talking
a
about?
lot.
Thank you. You shouldn't be thanking us. We need to be thanking you. That's what this whole program is about making sure that you know how appreciated it is, and that what you do matters, and that it's like the ripple in the pond, And look at all these people, colleagues and people that have written in and who have said that they're watching because you're amazing. I
It
hope you
really
feel.
means a lot.
Here's what. So how long have you been at Card now?
I started in January 2018.
Okay, so you've been
So
here a few years. Are we making sure that we're, because I want to make sure that we're keeping it fresh enough for you so that you don't get complacent. I
no,
don't want to lose you,
it
Heather.
definitely is fresh enough. My kiddos keep me on my toes. My
Good.
kiddos keep me on my toes.
Good. Because we
They
want you
really
to
do.
want to stay. But all these amazing things that you brought in the door with you of having, done martial arts, of I'm sure being a chiropractor is helpful to you on certain days. Not that you're doing chiropractic on the kids, but
Right.
there's a certain amount of skill that takes that you're bringing to your work. I
It definitely helped with the lingo. 'Cause
Yeah,
you don't realize when you get into a new field, like, oh, there's all these different,
the
words that I
jargon.
have no idea. I was talking to, one of my sisters, actually. She was asking me, like, "What does BHT mean? What does this mean? What is that?" And so having a background where I had to learn the lingo
Yeah.
over here, having a new situation where I had to learn the lingo, it definitely did help, yeah.
Well, tell them about, we do jargon of the day here. And
Ooh,
so
jargon of the day.
we do jargon of the day and we make fun of the terms and then explain them in very easy to understand if you've never taken a psychology class. So let them know we have a playlist on our channel for jargon of the day. But to Heather, I am so happy to know you and to know that you are working in this field. And I just think that there's a lot of caregivers that were watching who are thinking, oh my gosh, isn't it great to know that that there's people like Heather in the world who are excited to have our child have a challenge and that you're not going to give up. I
No.
Listening to that list of things that, a parent saying that this had been on board for 5 years, this had been on board for 7 years, and that you were able to get it done, Heather.
Yes.
Amazing.
It definitely was those there were definitely a lot of, uh, we call them, like, COVID victories,
Yes.
where you didn't we weren't expecting to make such progress because we're doing the social distancing. But because we're doing the social distancing, there's certain areas where we were able to really highly target. And instead of saying, oh, well, we're stuck at home, everything's closed, everything's sad, we're like, all right, we're at home, what can we do? We can do this. And having those victories, utilizing Zoom when we can, utilizing things around the neighborhood that might have been overlooked, just finding those new little spots, and then using what we have available to motivate the kids, number one, and then to target what those needs are. And it really did help also for the parents, because a lot of the parents, um not that it's bad, because it's super good to have the generalization across the locations, but a lot of the parents, they drop the kids off at the center and then they go kind of do their own thing. And so some of the parents that weren't previously able to watch how sessions were run now are more exposed, and so now their eyes are like, oh, okay, like, oh, how do you do this, and they're asking more questions, because it's they don't necessarily before they didn't necessarily see the potential of their kid. And I mean, I had one story where one of my kiddos, I told the mom for like 2 years, I was like, your kid is so smart. Your kid is so smart. And every day she'd be, okay, just like, all right, and it wasn't till 2 months into lockdown where she looked at me and she was like, I I I understand. Like I get what you were saying. Like she knew, like, I was trying to tell her, like, he has this potential, but she wasn't able to see it. And so once she was, kind of stuck with me, she was stuck in the same room with me. Um,
You saw it.
she was able to see what I had been seeing that entire time, and then once she was able to see it, then that helped her relationship with her son, because then she was able to push him and to have those expectations and that goals and the same things that I was hoping for her. She was able to then hope for herself, instead of being like, all right, Heather comes, Heather figures it out, good luck, Heather. It was okay, now I'm the mom and I can do it. And so seeing the parents empowered, even like during all of this time with the lockdowns and everything, seeing the parents empowered, it brings me to tears sometimes. It really does.
And so you're calling those COVID victories? Is that what you're calling it?
Yeah, COVID victories.
And are you having? It sounds like you're having a lot of them.
We really are. We really are. We're not letting anything hold us back. Not, we're we're finding our ways. And even as a clinic, we're having our Zoom calls where our Zoom meetings, everybody gets together and has our Zoom calls, and we're asking everybody like, hey, what can we do in this situation? I got a nonverbal kid and I have to do web web sessions, online sessions with him. I'm not in person. Like, what can I do? And we're like, oh, well, this is how you do the chat feature on Zoom, and he can type to you and he can text you. And, just coming up with ideas like, like, what games can we play? We have to do peer games. Well, we're working on, turn taking and stuff. Okay, well, what can we do? Oh, we're going to do Pictionary. We're going to do charades. We're going to do taboo for kids. We're going to do a tic-tac-toe tournament. We're going to, you just got to come up with those ideas. And we're going to do funny fill-in Mad Libs. So, we're going to find this video. We're going to, you don't let anything stop you. You just find that momentum. And we're apart, but we're together. As a team, we're apart, but we're together. And it was really weird. It was definitely weird getting used to, like, oh, I don't see so and so, and especially when everything first started happening. There was a lot of people who had to step away from card for a second to take care of family and things like that. But we were able, now we've kind of figured out how to do it, but we're finding those ways to connect and to reach out and to support each other, because it's easier when it's easier when you're having a bad day, and maybe your kiddo's having a rough day, and it just took a lot out of you and you just need that moment, and to be like in the center where you can just kind of like, manager, I need a hug, or
Yeah.
you can have those little moments. But when it's online, it took us a little while to find that way of having it. And we 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 figured it out. We figured out how to support each other, and we're not slowing down for anything. We're not. We're just keep going.
I love it. And I love you, Heather. So many of your team have written in. All of Irvine North has been watching and cheering you on. Eugenio says, Heather trained me and she's amazing. Go, Heather. So proud. We're all weeping. And they say Melissa says she trained me. She's the best. And I think now, we're all in the COVID victory mode here. So Heather, thank you for being a card star. Thank you to your whole team, because I know that you guys are doing incredible work there. And thank you for keep on keeping on, even during this pandemic, but always. We so appreciate you and we salute you. I know if Dr. Grampiche were here, she would just tell you how much we love you and love your carditude and what
Thank
you're
you.
doing. It's amazing. So thank you so much for taking the time to be with us.
Of course. I
All
really
right.
I really enjoyed letting
I,
letting everybody know how good my team is. My team is
I
the best.
we all loved it too, and to see them support you, so great. Awesome, awesome. So thank you so much for being here. You
Thank you for
take
having
care.
me.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching Autism Live. If you found anything helpful in this video, please give us a like. In fact, make sure that you smash that subscribe button on YouTube and give us a like on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram for important updates. And please download our free podcast wherever you get your podcasts. See you next time. Until then, give your kiddos a hug from me and one for you too. Bye-bye for now.
To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.